Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. We are here for another brand new update video. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. Some more transfer stories and news coming out, and of course a little check up on how a couple of players are doing out on loan after last weekend's fixtures. Before we kick off though, our partners over at Football Prizes have got another prize up for grabs. This time it is a signed Ruben Neves shirt as well as 10 instant win prizes. So if you pull one of the tickets with one of these prizes, I think there's a Matheus Nunes signed shirt and loads of other bits and pieces that you can get involved in. So to join that prize draw, use the link in the description. But lots of players linked with mainly moves away from Wolves, to be completely honest. Big one is Matheus Nunes. Of course, Wolves signing him last summer. Hasn't really hit the heights that Wolves fans were expecting. Every week I'm hoping that the Matheus Nunes that we expected to see and sign turns up, but we've not had enough from him as of yet. Been massive interest from Liverpool. Liverpool were interested in signing him before he came to Wolves. There was rumours in January. There was quite big reports a month or so ago that Liverpool are ready to sign him in the summer. But quite an intriguing report from the Telegraph, who are pretty reputable, are saying that Liverpool basically are ready to move on from Matheus Nunes and pursue other targets. A couple of reasons for this. One being the asking price. You know, Wolves spent over £40 million on Nunes. They're going to want to make their money back. And Liverpool have got to be extremely careful with their finances. They're probably not going to want to spend £50 million plus on Nunes. It was also reported that Liverpool basically had a clause with Wolves that they were obviously ready to sign. You know, almost a clause that if Liverpool put a bid in, you know, Wolves would give Liverpool first refusal. But apparently that has now been removed. Wolves have removed that clause, and Liverpool now will obviously going to have to pay quite a substantial fee to sign Matheus Nunes in the future. So it'll be interesting, because I think now, for me, this means if Wolves stay in the Premier League, of course, means that Nunes is more than likely going to stay at the club. If Neves leaves, which I think, again, is more than likely, Nunes now will possibly become more of the, you know, the bigger focal point in the midfield and really hopefully can kick on. But I'm sure I'm amongst a number of Wolves fans to say I really want to see more from Matheus Nunes. But as it stands, Liverpool are moving on from their interest in the midfielder. Another couple of major players linked with moves away. Obviously, Adama Traore, contract is up at the end of the season. At the moment, seems unlikely that he'll sign it, but there's many clubs over, predominantly in Italy, looking at him. We've already reported on the interest from Napoli. It's also reported that AC Milan and Juventus are the latest Italian clubs to have an interest in Adama Traore. Now, these clubs are huge, absolutely massive clubs. The issue with Italian football is money, really, in terms of transfer fees. You won't see them forking out a huge amount to sign players. So Adama Traore, who is clearly a talented player, quite a niche player, being available on a free, a lot of big clubs are going to be really interested by that. AC Milan have had a good season. You know, Juventus and Napoli, both massive clubs as well. So it makes sense, and possibly, you know, a change for Adama Traore on that front. But as it stands, new contract to Wolves seems fairly unlikely as of right now. Another player linked with a move to Italy is Nelson Semedo as well. I think a lot of these obviously are dependent on Wolves' future. You know, Wolves aren't really preparing to become a championship team, you know, from next season onwards. They are preparing behind the scenes for life as a Premier League club still. They have full belief that they're going to stay in the Premier League. But Semedo's, on paper, his contract is actually up at the end of the season, although Wolves hold a 2-year extension clause to sign that. So I'd assume that will be triggered regardless, but it'll be interesting, obviously, to see what Nelson Semedo's future is like. But AS Roma are a club, obviously managed by Jose Mourinho, are a club obviously keeping tabs on him as of right now. Another player who is currently out on loan is Goncalo Guedes, currently out on loan at Benfica right now. Being a huge disappointment that first half of the season. Went out on loan to Benfica. He actually started off fairly well, but unfortunately picked up an injury. But Benfica are saying they're going to try everything they can to keep Guedes at the club from the summer onwards. Now, it's unsure as of right now whether that's going to be another loan deal or whether they're going to buy Guedes on a permanent basis. Obviously, they've sold a couple of players for big fees, Benfica, over the last couple of years or so. So you would imagine they've possibly got the money to invest in someone like Guedes, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. I think him returning to Wolves in the summer is extremely unlikely, and he unfortunately will go down as one of the club's biggest transfer flops. A player that Wolves apparently are keeping their eye on is Sheffield United centre-back Anil Ahmed. A very talented young centre-half who I'm really surprised wasn't picked up by any top division sides in the summer. I believe he was out on loan at Bordeaux, who held a purchase to buy him last year, and they got relegated from Ligue 1. And obviously, I think it was Malmo off the top of my head, his parent club at the time. I really expected to see him go to a Premier League club, another top division side in France, Germany. But Sheffield United, fantastic signing for him. I think he was even a player that was mentioned, if you guys remember, probably 9 or 10 months ago. We did a video with Dan Butler, who's a Wolves fan, who did like a full analytical report on players that Wolves should look to sign. And Ahmed was in there. But yeah, Wolves are amongst a number of Premier League teams looking at him. Again, would be fully dependent on Sheffield United's situation. You would assume if they get promoted, he will stay at the club. At the moment, that looks pretty likely for them to come back to the Premier League. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And Wolves apparently amongst a couple of Premier League sides also keeping their eye on Bromley's right back Kellen Fisher. Currently playing in the National League this season. He's only 18 years of age, but has been really impressive and caught the attention of a number of clubs. So again, one for the summer there, Kellen Fisher. We'll wait and see if he rises up the divisions and if he gets a contract over in the Premier League. Now, a couple of players that have performed well on loan. Kiana Hoover, yet again, another goal for Stoke City. I think that's 4 in 9 for him now. And this one was a great goal, a massive win for them against Coventry over the weekend. And Gerson Mosquera as well picked up his first MLS goal for FC Cincinnati. They beat Inter Miami 1-0, and he got himself a place in the team of the week as well. So good to see. Obviously it's frustrating when we're performing under par and these guys, not under par, subpar I suppose, and these guys are performing so well out on loan. But like I've said before, good for their development, good that they're keeping their value, or if not increasing their value. Kiana Hoover is a really interesting one because I'm intrigued to see what Wolves do with him in the summer. Lopetegui's not really had a proper look at him himself because he went straight from PSV, which was a move sanctioned by Bruno Lage, and went straight to Coventry straight to Stoke, without Lopetegui having a look at him. So we'll wait and see there. But do let me know your thoughts on today's news, guys. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And, of course, check out Football Prizes. Link at the top of the description. And I'll catch you guys very, very soon.